Hi there. Please, if you do not like these movies, don't watch them. And if you do, blessings. This morning, I'm going to tell you about my experimenting with the e-juice that goes into my electronic cigarettes. These are V3s, which I got from Jack Vapor in Edinburgh, and they have a cartomizer, which is a separate thing, in which there's an atomizer and fluid, and you drip the fluid into the cartomizer when the cartomizer runs out of fluid, and you have a filled cartomizer that vapes very nicely. Now that is very satisfying. And do you know, I don't smoke at all. I don't smoke at all. But as you know, if you've watched the other movies, I took my sister one of these packs, a new pack for a beginner, and so she's got cartomizers, and now she's beginning to refill them. So the electronic cigarette juice that she's got, or the fluid that you fill the cartomizer with, is 18 milligrams. And that's quite strong in nicotine, especially because she only smokes light cigarettes. So I have been doing an experiment. First of all, I told you that I got those awful ones 2.5 years ago, electronic cigarettes, to which I never warmed because they were such a parp about to do. And this was the e-juice I got with that. It says high on it. Well, high as what? I don't know if it's 18 or 24, but the way it hits the back of my throat, I suspect it's 24. So there was a third of the bottle used. So my husband, as I said to you in another video, had gone to Boots and he bought some ordinary glycerine, and I filled the bottle that was 2/3 full with a third of glycerine. So I figure if it's 24, it's now 18 milligrams of nicotine, or if it was 18, it's about 12. Well, yesterday I did another experiment. I got an ordinary dropper bottle. Now I presume that each drop that drops from anything is the same size, because we measure in drops. So all drops all over the world from any dropping mechanism has to be the same size. Well, that's what I think. So I put half of this bottle I filled with glycerine. That's vegetable glycerine. I put the glycerine in here, half, and then I filled it up with this, which I suspect is now 18 or 16. So if I do the maths, this little dropper bottle now is much less strong nicotine content than the others. So I am experimenting because my sister's having trouble moving from smoking to vaping. Now that was something that didn't worry me, because I was a dummy sucker cigarette smoker. I'd roll my own cigarettes, and then everything I did, I had a little cigarette next to me, and it would go out all the time. I think I used more lighters than I did packs of tobacco. So for me, having my electronic cigarette somewhere just near to me and doing a puff is very much easier than my sister's way, and she is a cigarette smoker, so she would have a cigarette break and have a cigarette. Well, now for people who are struggling because they are missing having that break, I think possibly this method of lowering the nicotine content in the e-juice and simply sitting vaping nicely, maybe for 10 minutes. On your electronic cigarette makes a very nice break. It's a vaping break, equivalent in length to having a cigarette. So On Tuesday, I'm going over to my sister's and I'm going to take her this little bottle and we'll fill an empty cartomizer, and she could try, instead of going to have a break and then being disappointed because after 2 vapes her nicotine desires have been filled and she can't sit easily and just vape because she might be overdosing herself on nicotine. So that's my idea, and I'll report on how we go with that. Thanks for vaping.